Of all the choices that we have in life, one of the most important things that we will ever decide on is our friends. Stick around and I'm going to tell you why. If accurate biblical truth is important to you, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Right in the middle of life is a great big if. If implies an unknown, an uncertainty. And we all know that life is full of uncertainty. So when that if happens, do you have someone that would stand with you? Someone that will be there with you when the going gets tough? Someone in your life that would grab you by the hand and walk through the fire with you? Someone that you can call on in times of tragedy, in times of crisis, or in times of need? Those are great questions. And you know, there are two things that I know about you. Number one, I know that you want to enjoy life, and you want your life to count, to be meaningful, significant, and to make a positive difference. And in other words, you want your life to have purpose. We all do. And number two, I know you are not perfectly happy right where you are. If there was a way to make your life even better than what it is now by changing just a few things, you would do it. If the relationship between you and your kids could be better, you would do something about it. If there was a way to wake up and look forward to going to work, my goodness, you would jump all over that. My point is this. If you could make life just a little bit more enjoyable, just a little bit more enjoyable by doing just a few things differently, you'd get started on that as soon as possible, wouldn't you? I think I would too. I would at least try, you know? And so this is how it happens, by being intentional with our relationships. This goes all the way back to Genesis 2:18. And now I know the immediate context and the application is marriage, that it's not good for man to be alone, but I also think that a plausible secondary application is personal relationships. We're not designed to go through life alone. Coach John Wooden said this: "It's easier to reach our potential when we learn the value of including others." You see, we need each other. You need what others have to offer, and others need what you have to offer. Regardless of your past relational experiences, building and maintaining healthy relationships is the single most important factor in how we get along in life. The wisest man who ever lived said that one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves, but a cord of three strands is not quickly broken. Now in Daniel, we have the perfect example of this cord of three strands. And it starts with 4 teenagers that have their spiritual lives on track. You'll remember Daniel was one who could interpret dreams, and one day he was called in to interpret the king's dream. And he did so. King was very pleased, and he received a huge promotion. Upon receiving that promotion, he spoke on behalf of his friends, and he got them promoted as well. What a guy, huh? And then it happened. The king had a huge golden statue of himself made, then made a decree that at certain times, everybody everywhere was supposed to stop what they were doing and to bow down and worship this golden image. And if a person chose not to worship the statue, well then, into the fiery furnace. In the next couple of verses, we find King Nebuchadnezzar's leadership team coming to accuse these teens, and they said that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, hey, they're not bowing down. So they're brought in, they're confronted, the king really likes them, so he reminds them of the punishment, that if they're found guilty, then it's into the furnace they go. Listen to their response. "O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. If this be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. He will deliver us out of your hand, O king, but if not, so be it. We're still not going to worship your gods, and we're still not going to worship that golden image that you've set up." Oh boy! So it's into the fiery furnace they go anyways. Old Nebi, he had that furnace turned up 7 times hotter, and then he watched as his own men got close to the opening of that furnace. They disintegrated. But the teens, they just hopped right in. The king watched and he waited, and he looked into the fire, and what he saw changed his life forever. He saw 4 men walking around in that fire, and the 4th was like the Son of God's. Now just a side note here, but what if that were your kids? Would they have honored the king, or would they have honored God? Or what about you? I mean, are you so grounded in the faith that you would honor God, or would you deny him just to save your skin? Now I realize that you'll never know how you're going to answer that until you're in that situation, but I think it's important for us to be prepared, because the day that we're living in, that very thing could happen to any one of us at any time. But what about your friends? I mean, do you have someone in your life that will stand with you when the going gets tough? Someone that would grab you by the hand and walk through the fire with you. Someone that you can call on in times of tragedy, in times of crisis, in times of need. Of all the choices that we have in life, one of the most important things that we will ever decide on is our friends. And so choose carefully and choose wisely, because the people that you choose to spend time with will change who you are. Solomon also said that he who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm. Now recently, I gave you a plan for spiritual growth, and I'll link that in the description below. And today, I want to give you a plan to help you grow in your relationships so that you do have somebody that will walk with you through the fire, somebody that you can call on, somebody that will be there in a time of need. And this is what you need to do. Number one, make a list of the people in your life that you consider to be your friend. Number two, look at that list and narrow it down to somebody that you trust the most. Number three, establish a regular meeting with this person for accountability. And then number four, listen, if you don't have a friend like that, then consider joining a small group in your church, attending a Sunday school, or getting around people just a little bit more and opening up. Because you can have everything else in life right, but if you don't have your relationships right, life stinks. You won't be happy. And so let's make this a priority, and let's make this a priority today. You need others, and others need you. God bless.